You were in for a real treat today. We have South African artist Carla Bosch with us today. Carla, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eric.
We're very excited. I love your work. I want to show everybody real quickly the energy behind your work because it's just so beautiful. These are obviously look like California scenes, or maybe they're South Africa, but they're just beautiful. And what are you going to do for us today, Carla?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you and teach you how to be fearless and how to paint fearlessly and to take all the objects away that protects you from find your original authentic style. So that's what I want to show at least and try to explain to the people. Yes.
Okay, well, let's be fearless then. Let's do it.
Thank you. So yes, I want to talk first about acrylics. I'm working in acrylics, so okay. That is my main thing. I do not work in oil at all, and I love doing different things. Sometimes with watercolors and play around with gouache and things like that. But my main thing is acrylics, and I think something that I just first want to talk about is how the acrylics work, and I think it's a struggle for many people that wants to try it, but sometimes it's just it's a struggle because it dries so quickly, and when going out plein air and do things like that, it's just dry so quickly. And so there's a few things that I first want to show you. I want to show you how my setup looks. I normally buy a box from Michael's or Joann's or something like that, where I put not the paint just like that. You can put it in small bits, but I buy tubs like this, and you can find it everywhere. But there's
what kind of paint? It looks like you use golden. Is that right?
Yes, golden. Well, most of the time I use golden. I bought it in big tubs like this. And there's also just a tip that I want to give if people are interested in going big in acrylics is rather buy bulk, because you can keep it close and just put some paint in smaller tubs when you go out and use that. And when I work, let me just show you here. So these tubs you get from Berlin. It's a packaging, Berlin packaging, that you can get it, and then I put all this in a box like this, so that when I paint, I just take off all the lids, and then I can work. Can just work from out of those, and you take a lot of paint. That's the one thing that I think is very, very important. People, it's so different from oil, where oil you take small bits and you can go far, but with acrylics, you have to take a lot of acrylics and work with pastes of acrylics, so that it doesn't dry so quickly, and that you can smear it and use it. And it's actually a very, very fun thing to use, especially for outdoor painting. If you can learn to paint fearlessly, as I wanted to show you, and to use those acrylics boldly, and then when you're done, it dries so quickly, you can go home and take your painting under your arm, put it in a frame, and it's so much easier.
All right, we'll take the lids off because we need to get started painting.
Yes, let's do that.
I'll mention to everybody that the prize winner of the easel brush clip is Phyllis Bunn from Mississippi from yesterday. And also today's prize is a digital subscription to Plein Air magazine. So you have an opportunity to get this to your home. Plein Air magazine's digital has 20% more content than the print, and the print is pretty big. So lots of good content there. And Carla, you ready?
Yes, I am ready. I'm ready. So yeah, just before I start, and I will start in one moment, I just want to tell you about to be fearless. So there's one or two things that I would want to say, that when you start paint, you must try to take all the fear aspects out of the way. So first, to not, perhaps when you just started or want to try to find out your own style to use cheaper canvas or even paper, or even make little small cards like this, you know, like that you doesn't have to throw away. But the idea is to tell yourself beforehand, I'm going to throw this away. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to show it to anyone. Because the moment you do that, the fear aspect is away. And use perhaps a paper rather than a very expensive canvas. And when you paint for hours at a time, normally, try to make the time a little shorter so that you can do it a little bit quicker and without worrying
put yourself under a time limit.
Yes, that's what I think of. So yes, just go wild, and I'm going to show you something right now, and start a whole new painting and see how far we come.
Okay, good.
Let's do that.
I see we have a camera person.
Yeah. I've got a wonderful someone that was always helps me. My best friend. Yes, thank you. Is this good? Are you happy with this? Okay, let's go. So I'm going to just not work from anything. That's the other thing that I wanted to tell you is sometimes it's good to just out of what you see out in nature, just come back and what you remember, put down, so that you don't have to measure it with the picture all the time, so that you can be free in what you're doing. So sometimes go study the rules and not have this picture and that also brings a bit of fear in the whole situation, because now you have to have it exactly like the picture. So I'm going to do a little house today. Let's just put it right here.
Now you're drawing on a toned canvas and you're using what, charcoal?
Yeah, this is charcoal. Yeah.
Okay. I want to remind you guys that while you're watching, put in where you're tuning in from and make a comment, because we pick prizes from the comments. I see Pakistan. I see United Kingdom, Norfolk, United Kingdom. I see Sydney, Australia. Welcome. And I'm sure there's a lot of others that have not made comments yet. A lot of comments today. You're going to love this. Hello, India. You're drawing them in.
That's a good thing.
It is, Carla.
Yeah, and even with your, if you do some of the rules, and you can create some depth by some of the strokes that you use, and we will show you later. I will show you later. So my thing that I actually enjoy most is palette knife painting.
Is what?
Palette knife.
Palette knife.
With a palette knife. But I'm not going to do that today. I will only work with a brush. But yes, it is so much fun to work with lots of paint and just put it down and know where you want to put it down. And so there's the sketch. So
hello, Saskatoon. Hello, New Zealand.
Okay. What I like to do is to fix the picture with a dark color. So this is Payne's Gray. Another very good paint that I used before and worked with someone previous years was the Da Vinci paint. That's also a lovely paint to use.
Da Vinci, yeah.
Good quality Da Vinci, yes. Good quality, and that's also a good tip for acrylic artists. You can do a lot of things, but the one thing you cannot do is to not use good quality paint.
It makes a difference, because there's a student grade paint and you're not going to get the tonal quality.
Never. Yeah, it shines through, it is just not the same. It's you can rather work on paper for that matter, or anything else. But don't ever compromise on your quality of paint, and never ever be stingy with paint when you are working with acrylics.
Good advice.
Yes.
Hello. Let's see. I saw somebody here. Mexico, welcome. We're here every day at 12 noon. If you're tuning in for the first time, every day at 12 noon on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And best place to find us is Facebook or YouTube. You can search Streamline Art Video. That's where you find us.
There you go. So here we've got a little picture.
The brand of paint she's using is Golden.
Yes, this is Golden. Love it. I love it. It's pasty. So other thing that I think is very important to know is that the paint that you. Sorry, I just wanted to get my towel to finish off the brush.
What kind of brushes are you using?
I love Rosemary's brushes. That's probably the one thing that I enjoy most, or the one brushes. But I have to say, Eric, don't limit yourself if you don't have that. Anything that you can use, sometimes you can just go quickly when you forgot your brushes somewhere and buy anything. And every brush, if it's hard, if it's soft, it gives a different texture. There's so much to play with, so don't worry if it's not the best, or but yes, Rosemary, and that is probably the best quality.
Well, we have a viewer from South Africa. You got
Astrid,
probably somebody you know, right? Astrid in South Africa.
I do not know who it is, but perhaps, there's a lot of good clients of ours in South Africa. And yes, we had a lot of good years back in South Africa, painting there for probably 20 years before we moved here. I was in the art business already. So
tell us about your art business while you're painting. What do you do?
Well, I'm just painting, and we sell it on our website, and try to be at some of these wonderful events that in South Africa, we did not have lots of events like here where you can be part of, a plein air painters association or anything like that, or all the competitions. And we really enjoy being part of that. And it gives you the opportunity to get more people to know your work. So yes, I will really say that this is a big treat for us to be here.
Yeah, and you told me your husband works full time for you, working on.
No, it's the other way around. I work full time for him.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. You do the painting, and he does the marketing and everything else.
He does the marketing and everything. No, we're just a good team, and I'm so proud, and or not proud, well, proud as well, but so lucky to have him. And we work wonderfully together, and it's a real privilege to be able to work with your husband, and it's a great success story. So yeah, we're very, very grateful that it works out, and that we have the opportunity to do this.
Yep, absolutely.
Work from home, and it's great.
Greetings from Johannesburg. Greetings from Switzerland.
Wonderful.
Finland, welcome.
So I've loved to do, not always, but in this case, I do the trees first, and so that it can dry a little. So when I do the background later on, I can do it in the in between the trees. So that's why I just wanted to give you some feedback on what I'm doing here. That's why I do this first, and then just build up wherever I come.
So there's a question from India or Pakistan, I'm not sure which. She said, are rosemary oil brushes okay for acrylic, or do acrylic need soft brushes?
Well, that is the thing for me. I use both. If you want to go much more finer and do a lot of detail, then the softer brushes is sometimes better, and I like flat brushes like this, because you can go thick and thin lines with it. But then again, when it's a hard, strong brush, you can you can create so much more texture and put it down, and you know, there's more paint staying behind on the canvas. So that's sort of fun, you know, sometimes too, to use both of it. So it's not the one or the other. But you can experience with it and play around and see what works for you. So for me, I can say that I use both, and then the palette knife as well, you know, where you can just go wild with the paint and put it down.
What kind of canvas do you use for acrylic?
Well, this canvas is a Blix Premium canvas, and I really enjoy it. But it is, again, sometimes the more texture the canvas got, you know, it brings a different effect on the painting. And yeah, I think that is my thing. You know, I do not worry that much about all the rules and things like that, and just go wild and enjoy, because that's all what it's about, is to enjoy it at the end of the day. And
well, some of the greatest paintings of all time have been done on cardboard. You know, some of the great Russian masters, when they had no access to materials. Hello from India. Hello from Isle of Wight. Hello from Barrie, Canada.
Great stuff. Hi, everyone. There we go.
Sunny Wisconsin. We have a comedian with us.
Yay!
It's sunny and 80 degrees in Austin, Texas today.
Yeah, it's lovely. We cannot complain at all.
Carla and I just met, and I just found out she lives here in Austin, Texas. We're going to go painting together.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that.
One of the perks of living in Austin is I get to paint with Carla and her husband.
You're going to love my husband. He's the best.
Gabriel Stockton said Russian masters would even paint on walls when they had no canvas.
Yes,
right.
That's true. That's true. As long as you enjoy it, and as long as you take the fear out of it, you know, it's so much fun. I mean,
Carla, before we go, somebody said we see paintings on the floor. We'd love for you to show some paintings after you're done with your demo, if we have time.
Okay, I will do. I have a few standing around here that I can show you for sure.
Someone else new from South Africa sending greetings.
Thank you.
Natalia. Thank you, Natalia.
That is great. So yeah, with the paint just build up, and the other thing that I think helps a lot is to create more forms than to just, you know, blob a lot of paint and mix everything together. Take clean colors, put them down, and leave them. And if you do this a lot with your brushes, then later on with a palette knife, it's become so much easier, because you just know where to put it down. You just you know, decide, I want my color here, and I put it down, and I want it here, and I put it down. Because with the palette knife and the acrylics, the palette knife dries too quickly, so you cannot change it later. So with oil and palette knife, you can scrape it, but with palette knife in acrylics, if you make a big mess, you cannot sadly reuse it. So so you have to be confident in what you want to do and how you want to put it down. So that is just another thing with a
Love your boldness.
Oh, thank you so much.
Judy is asking, are you mixing colors, or are you using them directly from the jar?
I do use them directly from the jar, but so you will see sometimes when I do not come back so quickly, I will just mix the colors on, you know, let me show you. So sometimes some of these lids that I have, I will take them off and keep them in my hand. So it's sort of funny, but then, you know, mix the colors right here, because I do not work from a palette. And so it is a little different, and I didn't ever study art, did a lot of workshops and things like that earlier years, and my dad taught me a lot when I was small. So
Your dad was a painter?
say, yeah, he used to, yeah, he was a pharmacist all his life.
Uh-huh.
And then it was he painted since he was 8 years old, and enjoyed it a lot. And I don't think he really realized that he could make a living out of painting. And back then, and then, you know, go big in pharmacy and did a great job with it as well. And at the end, he this was, sorry, it's because I talk too much. At the end, he after he what do you call it, when you retire, he started painting more full time. So yeah, he's also doing it still today, and enjoy himself a lot. And
Okay.
it's a great.
We have someone tuned in from Sweden, Rosemarie. Thank you for that. The question is, could we do acrylic live? I'll do anything if I can get enough people to do it. I mean, I won't do anything. I'm not going to do, well, I won't even go there.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, it is as if the acrylics become more popular, you know, because of the people can see that it, you know, it doesn't, what's the right word? It doesn't, it keeps its, I think the fear is that it will not last as long as oil colors. But, you know, it's the longer we go to see how good the quality actually keeps itself, you know, people get perhaps a little also more confident with using it. And yeah, and I mean, I paint for the last 20, 23, 24, 3 years full time now, and we never, ever had a complaint with acrylics that didn't last or lost its color or crack or anything like that, you know, at all. So so it's just perhaps also good feedback to know that
Are you, Shirley is asking, why are you choosing these colors? Is it from memory?
oh yeah, it's now the whole thing that I want to try to explain is to be fearless and just go wild with these colors. And yeah, it is from memory. I work mostly from memory. I sometimes like to take a picture, take a good look at the picture, and then come back and give my impression of the picture, so that you can create that fearlessness and that authentic authenticness, you know. Otherwise, if you compare it all the time, it comes out totally different, you know. There's not that looseness. It just brings back that fear factor. And I do it sometimes because I do get a lot of commissions of people that ask, can you please paint my house, or can you do this, or whatever. And then you have to, because I mean, then it has to look like their house. So you have to look at it. But I try to not stick to that photo so much that it takes this looseness and fun out of the whole thing. And I think that's very important.
Sheila says, I would love to see this bold pure color in oils. Sheila, we just released a brand new video from Lynn Boyer called Fearless Painting, and it's in oils. You should check that out. Also, if you ever, you would love Cynthia Rosen's palette knife paintings. She does bold colors in oil. Somebody said, this is out of the 315 days, this is my favorite so far.
Thank you. Woohoo. Good news to you.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you very much.
So you guys who are watching, you folks, go ahead and hit the share button. If you hit the share button, other people will discover this, and maybe we'll be able to turn them into painters. What do you think?
Good idea.
Do you use regular tap water or distilled water when you're cleaning your brushes?
Oh no, regular tap water. And yeah, I am a little bit of a messy painter.
What nobody knows is the tap water in Austin is already distilled.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Well, the thing is with and I can't remember if I said it already, but you know, I do not with acrylics, and people think they must mix it all the time with the water, but actually the water changed the quality of the paint and the consistency of it. So I try to use very, very little, only when I have to really clean my brush for different colors. So I will rather use the paste as it is and just clean the brush on the paper and not use so many water to make it thinner, you know, and rather use, as I said, lots of paint rather, because it's wet enough to smear and to enjoy on your canvas.
Somebody just asked, Maria Cross says, can we watch all the lives all over? Yes, this is day 315. We do it every day at 12 noon. And also at 3 p.m., we give samples of our hundreds of videos that we've created. And you can find the entire library on YouTube. Just go to Streamline Art Video, go to YouTube and search Streamline Art Video. You can find them all there, all 315 days times 2.
Sorry.
Do you ever use any kind of medium?
You know, to mix with this? No, never. No, only this the acrylics as it is. Yeah, I don't like to mix it with, you know, different pastes and things like that. It's the best to use it as it is. For me.
Kalika says, this is very inspiring and inspiring me to take acrylics. I'm an oil painter. All right. I think that's fun. You know, all of you should try everything because it'll make you better at whatever you're doing. I've been playing with watercolor since Watercolor Live last week. And already I'm seeing watercolor techniques starting to creep into my oil painting, which is really fun because I'm learning new things.
Yeah, it's true. It's good sometimes to experience the different things, because then you can build on that and bring it over to your this is now. Let me just leave this first.
Okay, Zahor is saying, what are the prizes for today? Today's prize is a digital subscription to Plein Air magazine, which is perfect for you because then we don't have to mail it to you over where you are. Hello from Holland. Wow, we got a big audience today.
That's great.
And if you guys share it, we'll have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
We announced, Carla, last week we had Watercolor Live. We had the largest art conference in the world online.
Oh, wow.
Larger than anything. And the world's top watercolor artists. And so we announced that we're doing Watercolor Live next year again. Yeah. And we already have, I don't know, 600 or 800 people signed up. And then we also announced Plein Air Live. The second one is going to take place this April. And that's exciting. We've got a world-class lineup for that. And who knows what else may be up our sleeves.
It sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful. Eric, you do such a great job with what you are doing for the artist. And yeah, we just want to thank you. It's awesome.
Oh, that's very kind. I'm just doing it to help.
Okay, let's go to this house now first, and then we will do the top part after that.
Okay.
I'm going to, let's just see if I've got some clean areas here now.
Huh. Terry Ritchie says, I started mentoring a gentleman on Monday and introduced him to this noontime educational time. Later in the day, he told me he had done all day. He went back to the repeats and watched them all day.
Wow.
That's nice, Terry. Thank you. Terry's an awesome painter.
That's great. Oh, so I will meet him.
Who won the painting? Oh, that's a great, that's right. We announced it on Watercolor Live, but we didn't announce it. I'll find out. I don't remember the name, but I'll find out. Thank you for that.
Just want to get some of this. Yeah, so remember I think the trick with the acrylics, or the best tip that I can give you, is to use lots at a time. Don't be stingy with it. That's very important.
That's right. I love the color. This is really bold. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's fun. As the trees.
I like the dark outlines too. That makes it fun.
Yes, it contrast is everything. And afterwards, I will again put some darker lines and outlines around it, just to bring the colors out again. Because that contrast, yeah, it is really everything. What will we do? Perhaps a red roof?
Donna says, sorry, I did not join Watercolor Live. I feel like the only kid that didn't go to the prom. I won't make that mistake again. Thank you, Donna. Somebody said, watching you, it's like a mosaic.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, especially with the palette knife, it really, and I will show you some pictures later on, but that is literally like a mosaic, because you literally put down these pieces next to each other in wet paint, and it dries so quickly, and then it literally gives you that idea.
Here's a question you may or may not know the answer to. This is from either India or Pakistan. It says, I have a lot of Liquitex acrylic tubes that are all dried up because of the temperatures in our area. Any tip for dry acrylic tubes?
Yeah, you cannot. That's very sad. I'm so sorry about that, but you can do nothing with dry acrylics. If it dries once, it's dry. It's also a problem on your clothes or everything. If you ever get acrylics on your clothes, you must just keep it wet. If you cannot, immediately wash it out. But as soon as it's dry, there's nothing that you can do. And I paint with this now for 20 years, 24 years, and literally there's nothing. If that tubes, you can just throw them away. You cannot do anything.
Yeah.
Sad.
My wife says I have two kinds of clothes, those that have paint on it and those that don't have paint on it yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Last night I came into my studio. We were watching television. I was bored, so I came into my studio and I had a dress shirt on, and I just was going to touch something up. I ended up painting for about 2 hours in my dress shirt, no apron, nothing. So fortunately I didn't get anything on it, but I usually do.
Wow. Yeah, it's very sad. And if it's oil, there's still things that you can do with certain types of, but acrylics is it's lost. You can only paint a little flower around it if you really want to keep it.
Carla, here's the note from Astrid, who says, it's evening here. I assume she means South Africa.
Okay,
and yes, I'm sitting on my veranda listening to the hadiyas.
Oh, yeah, it's a kind of bird.
I see. She said, ask you if that sound brings back memories.
It's the best. When we were just back in South Africa, December, and it was so wonderful to hear all those birds. And that specific one is a hadidas. You call it hadidas, and it's the most wonderful sound. It brings so much, memories, and it actually makes your heart pain a little, I would say.
If you guys are enjoying this, please hit the thumbs up or a heart or applause or something, so that Carla gets a little some accolades from you guys, so we know that she loves you. I mean, you love her.
I love them.
You can revitalize older dry oil paints by, taking it out, getting some linseed oil in a palette knife and putting it together. And of course, watercolor, you can just reactivate.
Yeah, I think so. With the acrylics, that sometimes works great for people as well, is to if you do a very thin layer of acrylics, you can always work with oil over it. And there's many people that love to do that, to do underpainting and then do your stronger, darker colors and your lighter lights over it. And that works well. The only thing with acrylics, as if you work thick and bold like I do, it sometimes makes little lines that can sometimes be a problem when you work over it. You know, it just doesn't look as fresh when there's lines in the way. So now
will you show everybody real quickly your quote unquote your palette again? I know you just have tubes of paint or things of paint, but
yeah. So
some people tuned in late.
I work out of tubs like this. Can you see it?
Yep.
Tubs like this, and it's in this little box because I do sometimes go plain air outside, so this helps a lot, and and it helps to have a lot of paint out, you know. So yeah, I do not always work out of this. Normally, I just work out of these big ones. So, and yes, I said earlier to buy bulk. It's better. It at the end is cheaper, and you know, because the bigger you buy, the price just come down, and then you can use it over years and years. You must just keep it close, otherwise it will, in certain areas, as we just heard, it will dry out. But if you can keep it closed, very tightly closed, it will not dry out, and you can take some of that out if you put it in smaller little cups like I just showed you. So that helps. So this is now the funnest part for me is the clouds. I really enjoy doing clouds. So I'm going to go to the clouds now.
All right. Dennis Marshall says this has been his favorite so far too.
Yay! Thank you very much. I'm so glad to hear that. So I do not use white ever just as it is. I love to rather mix it with a little bit of yellow or something like that to make it a little stronger. And then again, use lots of paint. And let's go here into the clouds and be fearless and just put it down. And
so that's why you wanted your trees to dry.
Yes, that's why I did my trees in the very beginning. But you do not always have to do it that way. I mean, I many times first do the sky and, you know, whatever I feels like. So it doesn't really matter. So in this case, let me just.
So a lot of people asking again, because they tuned in late, she's using golden paint. She has a variety of brushes. She likes rosemary brushes. She's working on a Blick premium canvas. And, but she's suggesting to learn it, just use anything. Don't use expensive stuff to learn, but use high quality paint always.
Yes, always. Very important. Very important to use high quality paint.
Have you tried the other question? Have you tried the golden open acrylics, which don't dry as fast and they paint a little like oils?
Yes, I do have that. Because I work so very quickly and like the very pastiness of it, I do not prefer that, but I know many people loves it. And yes, so it is surely something that you can try if you want to, but I don't think it is as pasty as this, you know, as just the normal heavy body acrylics. So
do acrylics darken down after they dry?
Yeah, it is a concern for many people. For me, it doesn't really bother me at all. The only time when it bothers me is afterwards and everything is dry and I want to change something small to really mix that. But because I know it becomes a little darker when it dries, I will always, you know, do it a little lighter and then get it, or just make it a bigger, you know, with this loose style, it doesn't really bothers me, you know, because you can just bring another color in it. So it's not something that bothers me that much, but I know some people don't like it. And I've heard somebody told me that the Winsor & Newton acrylics is better with that. Apparently they do not change as much in color.
Well, somebody told us the other day, I think Gil Dillinger told us that he's using a Winsor & Newton acrylic. It's called a Winsor & Newton Pro or Professional. And I think that's I think that's what he's using, and he's having good luck with those. But it's hard to beat. These are great products. Da Vinci's great, Golden's great. They're all good.
Yes.
Now you've got about 15 minutes, and then
Okay.
we're gonna wrap it up.
Wow, the time is running.
Yeah, time
Okay,
goes when you're having fun.
Yes, for sure. For sure, and I do have a lot of fun. Yeah.
You guys remember to hit the share button just one time today. That would be really helpful. I also am going to put my handle in the comments. I'd appreciate if you would go to Instagram and follow me on Instagram. And I'm trying to get my numbers to 10,000, which should be easy, you would think. And I got it up to 9,000 the other day, but I got to get it the rest of the way. And then I'll move. The next goal will be 100,000. Nice. I like that. I like the energy, and I like that you're not trying to blend everything.
Yeah, I know. It's sometimes great to even leave some of the background open, because that also creates some contrast and brings some warmth into it. So so that's also fun to leave that open. Oops, there's a little bit of a dog.
What I think is really wonderful is to see a lot of different approaches. Sometimes, everybody paints kind of in the same way or same style, and it's just refreshing to see something different. And I think it's fun to try it. And I would encourage everybody to try something like this, because it will really inform you. Even if you ultimately have a favorite medium, it's nice to kind of play and get out and try new things, but also it will teach you new things.
Yes, and it will. What I really believe is, Eric, that it will also bring out your authentic style. We always want to compare it to someone else's, and or to the photo or the scene that you see. Where when you do it like this and just take a few things that oh, this is how mountains looks and this is how a tree looks, and just put down the paint and enjoy yourself. And then it's in that fearless moments that you really discover, who you really are, what you really like, and things like that. So I think it's very important.
If we don't get done, you'll post the finished painting in the comments later on, okay?
I will. I promise I will.
I know you will. It's in your contract,
Great. I didn't know about that.
Yeah. You don't remember that thing that you signed?
Well, we will have to talk to Ali now,
Yeah. Well, Ali will be on your side since she's from South Africa.
Yes, Ali's my friend.
Yeah. Did you know her?
No, well, I actually only get to know her when we moved here. So I on Facebook try to find some people that live around here and that is Afrikaans. So and I found one of the friends, and she invites me to a meeting where they all were together, and then I met Ali there. So, and it was
Ali's the one that recommended you for the show.
Oh, thanks, Ali.
I will tell you that that was a great recommendation.
Thank you so much. Oops, I went over.
Remind you all to make sure that you put a comment in so that we have your name, so that we decide to draw your name for a prize. Today's prize is a digital subscription to Plein Air magazine. Also want to remind you guys, get a head start on the Plein Air Salon. It ends on the end of the month, the 28th, and we're getting closer to the convention. So you want to get entered. If you win in any category, you're entered to win in the national competition for the $15,000 prize. You can also win monthly prizes.
So, Eric, perhaps if there's so little time left, there was one or two things that I wanted to show them as well. I wanted to show them, let me just, if you do not mind me grabbing this quickly. You can sometimes buy these little cards from Michael's, and they have these, oh my goodness, sorry. envelopes, and these cards already have its little fold like this. And then I will sometimes put it on to a board like this with masking tape, and then just play around as I just showed you, to just go wild on that, you know, and do some palette knife paintings or anything like that. And then when you take it off, you've got a lovely card and you don't have to throw it away.
What a great idea. So use your practice time to make cards.
Yes, I mean, there's so many things that you can do to enjoy, to make it more enjoyable, you know, and fun for yourself, and to take that fear aspect away. Because if you have to throw that away, if it doesn't come out nicely, it's not that big of a deal, you know. And if it comes out nicely, at least you can give it to someone for their birthday or something like that. So yeah, it's just another good idea. And yeah, while talking about cards, we also sell cards on our what do you call it, Amazon and Etsy. But there's in our what do you call it, website, we have a link on the contact page that goes right through to Amazon or Etsy or everywhere you can buy the cards. Let me just show you. It's a nice little box like this.
I have a picture of it. I can show it.
Yes, there's 20 cards in different type of cards, and yeah, it's a nice.
If you could buy them direct from her website, then it saves her 33%. If you give them through Amazon, she has to pay a commission, right?
It's true. It's true. Yes.
Yeah.
It's true.
They're beautiful cards.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, let's just put in some fun lighting there in the mountains as well.
Today at 3 o'clock, our guest is going to be Mike Hernandez. He's going to do Design Powerful Paintings, and it's worth seeing. This is one of the best we've done, and you'll get a chance to get a discount on that as well if you want to do it. He's going to show you how he does this painting. And he uses digital on this, but just to demonstrate techniques. It's really very, very worthwhile. It's from this video, Design Powerful Paintings, which you'll get a discount on. All right, Carla. Now we're down to about our last 6 minutes or so.
Okay. All right. So
it's looking good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So now afterwards, you will go over some of your darkest darks that you put in.
Raise your hand if you're going to try acrylics. Put a comment in.
It's lovely. Use it. It's wonderful. It's easy.
Are the cards on your website printed, or are they actual paintings?
No, they're printed. Yeah, all of that was good quality cards. I have some of them here. I just want to show you, but I don't know if it will get
But you can also buy paintings on your website.
Yes. Lots of paintings on the website, and we do you know, commissions as well, and whatever you want, and never obligated to take it if you don't like it. We want the customer to be happy. So that's
a lot of people say they use acrylics already, and a lot of people say they're gonna try it.
Right.
All right, good.
Yeah, perhaps just before the time is over, Eric, I can also show, somebody asked earlier, some of the paintings. Perhaps there's just one thing that I would like to just show is the palette knife, the difference in the...
Okay. Well, why don't we start doing that now, because we're gonna need that time. So you can do the finished painting and post it later.
I will. Let me just show you close up. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I know everything's backwards for you. Just hold it straight. Yeah, there you go.
Can you see it? And it's very shiny, but I just wonder if you can see the texture on a palette knife painting like this, you know, and yeah, it's just the difference between that and something like this. It's similar to what we did today, you know, that is a much more you know, softer look than a palette knife, that it's more mosaic kind of effect. So
What kind of palette knives do you use?
I do use, let me just take this backwards a little, then you can see me again.
We would also like to have the camera do a straight on shot of the painting you just did so they can see it.
Okay, let me do that. Here it is.
All right, nice, very nice.
It's not done completely, but we will finish it sooner than later and post it as well. Yeah, so yeah, the palette knives, I use a palette knife for many years. Buy whatever I can find that's a good shape. It's not something that's easy to find. You know, good quality palette knives is actually hard to find.
I'm gonna give you my trick. Are you guys ready for this?
Yep.
I don't know if I can get my camera over there or not. Let's see if I don't have much room for it, but let's see here. See my easel there?
Yes.
See how my palette knives are hanging down?
Oh, cool.
It's a magnet. It's a kitchen knife magnet from IKEA.
That's wonderful. That's a very good idea.
So I just take them off, and then I just go like that or like that, and they stick. Well, you couldn't see that.
That's a good idea. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm not sure if it will work for me because mine always got so much paint on it. It's so messy.
The metal will still stick.
So mine is looking like this.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah. So
Carla, you're basically telling us you're a slob.
Say again.
A slob. You're a slob? You know that term?
What is a slob?
You're sloppy. You're sloppy. You're messy.
Yeah, sorry. I am a little. I am quite neat all around, but when it comes to paint, you know, I always comes to close the tabs because I forgot them open, and yeah, it can be quite messy here on my desk. But for the rest, not really. Yeah.
Great. Well, Carla, thank you so much for doing this today. I'm looking forward to meeting you live and in person. And
thank you so much, Avery.
You're really a fabulous painter, and we're very impressed. Everybody, thumbs up, applause, smiles, and hearts. All right, and you can find just one last time. Carla's website is carlabosch.com, and you can go there and get whatever you need from her.
Great stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carla. Hang with me, guys. I just got a couple of announcements. First off, I want to remind you that we're here every day at 12 noon. If you want to find us, just go to YouTube or Facebook. But YouTube is a great place to go because you can subscribe. It'll pop up on you. But also, all 315 days are there. We've been here 315 days in a row doing this. Want to tell you, we have the Plein Air Convention coming up. It is going on, as far as we know, and that'll be in May in Denver, Colorado. We're going to get together and play. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a free gift for you. It's a free video. You can get streaming, or you can get a DVD if you want to pay the $5 or $6 shipping. It's called 97 Tips. It's 2 hours of video, amazing secrets from some of our artists and videos that we've done. A reminder that if you'll go to Eric Rhoads on Instagram and follow me, that would be really helpful. And of course, I'll make sure I post content that you love. Today at 3 p.m., Mike Hernandez, Design Powerful Paintings. You want to make sure that you catch that. And that's pretty much all I've got. A lot of people are asking what we do, and we have lots of things that we do. We have, if you go to streamlinepublishing.com/everything, you'll find our newsletters, our magazines, our products, our TV channel, our videos, our retreats for artists, so much more. All right. And a reminder, if you don't have Plein Air magazine, it's in 278 Michaels stores, and it's the #1 selling art magazine in America at Barnes & Noble. We would love for you to pick it up. We have Fine Art Connoisseur and Plein Air magazine. There's a copy of Fine Art Connoisseur, and there's Plein Air magazine. So thank you guys for watching. Remember, the goal of this daily is to keep you preoccupied with something other than the craziness, the quarantine, the boredom. You know, my wife was saying last night she was so bored and wishing we could get out and travel, and I get it. But if you get yourself involved in art, even if you look at this and say, I'm not sure I can do it, I think you can do it. I know you can do it. It's a process. And if you watch this day after day, you'll get the courage, you'll get the process down. Everybody's got a different approach, and it'll make you have the courage to try it. We want to turn more people into artists because art changes your life. It changes your heart. You see things differently. You know, you're going down the road, driving down the road, and you're saying, wow, look at the color on the side of that barn, before you never even noticed it. So it'll change your life. Thank you for watching. And remember, keep your head in the game, stay positive, stay upbeat. Things continue to be crazy, but we are sane because we're putting our time and interest into art. Have a great day. Bye-bye.